Hello. As people are coming in, hello, hello. Come on in. Just
Hi, Janice.
getting set up. Hey, Kelly, hi. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Good. I'm looking forward to this. Just painting today, sinking in. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Hi, Joanna. Hello, Noemi.
Hi.
Noemi. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but I hope so. Welcome. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. My email just went out saying, come now. All these different time zones, right? It's so confusing sometimes. And I honestly cannot calculate across the ocean. So I was like, okay, I need to give people heads up that are coming from, if you're coming from Australia or from over across in Europe, because I don't know how to calculate that. All right, we are coming in. So just letting everyone in here. Hello. Say hello in the chat. Lots of new names here. Tell me where you're from. I'm so excited to have you here. I've got some of my creative mystic. Well, one of my creative mystics here, Kelly. Yay. She is a certified soulfully aligned creative mystic, and another Summer who is joining this next group. Super excited for you. So yeah, come on in. Say hello, you guys. We are very casual here. We are down to earth, very authentic in this space. Nothing is rehearsed or managed. So just say hello. And I want to welcome all of you here. I am so grateful to have you here. And I am going to, perfect. Thanks, Joanna and Summer. Hello. Oh, there we go. Chat. That's what I want to see. I wasn't seeing the chat there. Perfect. I want to say hi to you and introduce myself first of all. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Janice, obviously, of Soulfully Aligned Women. I am the founder of Soulfully Aligned Women. I started Soulfully Aligned Women back in 2018. I had just finished writing my book and publishing my book, The Creation Guild. And this just naturally grew from there. And I can't even tell you how. It just happened, as those things do, as you're following guidance and just allowing yourself to be led, as I was at that time and still am today. So Soulfully Aligned Women has grown. I have so many different painting workshops. I am an artist, but I'm also a soul guide. This is my passion, guiding people deeper into their soul, into their alignment, so that they can lead in their life from that solid, unshakable place. And hi, Carrie. And this is my passion. And I was just saying, I was just on the phone with my sister. We were talking about, different jobs that people have and who's not happy. And she was talking about, you're so happy. You're so, loving what you're doing. I said, I do. The problem is that I don't take time off because I love this. This is what I love doing. This is what gets me up in the morning and gets me going. So we do all sorts of painting creative flow in Soulfully Aligned Women, but it is also very much about deep alignment, meditation, journaling, the energy, the psychic soul gifts that we have here that come with us and that come online as soon as we get more soulfully aligned and go deeper into that part of ourselves. And this is where the magic happens. So I'm going to give you a little taste of it today. And Carrie is another one of my soulfully aligned creative mystics here. So super glad you guys are joining me. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint into our heart warrior goddess. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what and who and what that means. Who is our heart warrior goddess? What does it mean? And I'm also going to begin by creating sacred space. This is a little taste for you into the Soulfully Aligned Creative Mystic certification program. This is kind of how we do our painting workshops. They are called shamanic painting workshops, and it is because we create sacred space and we move forward from there. And so I'm going to do that right now. And I'm going to invite you all, if you have, the one thing I do is I always light a candle. I have my candle going. And I'm going to begin by, I have a little bit of sage here in my shell. And I begin by cleansing my space of any old energies, anything that might be lingering even from my day. So I give myself, it smells so lovely, and help cleanse away all other energies, because this canvas, I'm going to smudge my canvas too. This canvas has come a long way to be here with me, and I don't want any other energies interfering. I don't want any of my old energies that I may have picked up from other people throughout the day today. I don't want any of that interfering in my space. So just a little bit of smudge helps cleanse that out. And then I light a little sweetgrass to call in the blessings. Now, my background comes from a very deep shamanic training. I am not a shaman. I am a medicine woman. I am a mystic. And my training began way back in the mid-90s when I was invited to sit in a shamanic circle with women in the Medeoan Society, which is a women's healing circle, a First Nations healing circle. And I learned from my shamanic teacher the ways in the Anishinaabeg way. So it was back in Ontario, and I now live in Alberta. But what you learn, the way you learn, grounds you and becomes your way of doing things. So you don't have to smudge or use sweetgrass to create sacred space. You can create space just by lighting a candle, taking a few breaths, and sinking into you and your heart. I also very much love crystal magic, as Carrie and I are doing a retreat in February called Crystal Magic in Tucson, Arizona. So if you're interested in that, we just opened that up for registrations a couple days ago. So you're welcome to find out more about that. But I also have crystals right here, and on the bottom, I don't know if I can tilt this camera down. I have a little shelf on the bottom of my easel, and I have crystals sitting there. So I love the crystal magic that comes in when we create our sacred space. So this is going to just be a minute here. I'm going to play some soft music for you and guide you into your heart warrior. So let me share my screen and take you on a little journey, which is what we do in the Creative Mystic painting sessions. And we also do deep meditations and activations every time we meet. But here we go. So I'm just going to invite you to take a few deep breaths here. Wherever you are, it may be halfway through your day, you may be towards the end of your day. I'm going to invite you just to breathe for a minute. Breathing in through your nose, nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And letting go through your mouth. I want you to take these long, slow, deep breaths at your own pace. When you breathe in, imagine that air coming in, going all the way down into your root chakra, right to the base of your spine. Breathing in that air and then flowing it back out, and imagine it just flushing it out. Anything old, any old residues, any worries, fears, tightness, let it flow out. We always begin with these 4 long, slow, deep breaths. It is an indication to spirit that we are shifting. We are shifting our focus into a different space, into our heart. So bring all of your attention and focus into your heart space. Come back to your normal breathing pattern as you are ready. Just breathe into your heart. Imagine a beautiful ball of light right there in your chest. I always put my hand on my heart space. This helps me focus into my heart. Breathe in there. We live in such a busy world, and this feels so good to come into this center, this place, peace, calm. And just let that light begin to grow. Imagine it like a ball of light. And with each breath, relax a little bit more. You sink in a little bit more into this space. Complete awareness, full focus in your heart space. And as this light grows, I want you to think about and feel into feelings of love and gratitude. This is what opens your heart chakra up even more. And we are accessing that heart goddess. So we need our heart open. And just feel into anything in your life that you are so grateful for. Perhaps it is children, grandchildren, pets. Those always bring up the strongest feelings for us of having those beautiful souls, having the opportunity to hold a baby against your heart, even if it's a niece or a nephew. Being held by somebody who loves you unconditionally. And then let that expand out even more to opportunities in your life that you're so grateful for. Perhaps on a beach, vacation, in the mountains, sacred spaces around this world, watching the sunrise or the sunset, just being able to have space to take a breath in your life. Notice how your heart begins to expand. You can almost physically feel a swelling in your heart space. You want to open that up. Open, allow there to be space, spaciousness. We step more into your beautiful soul aspects, away from the human part of ourselves and into the light, into the soul. I want you to imagine a beautiful channel of light from your heart going straight down your body, down your legs, through your feet, into the earth, going all the way down to the center, to the heart of Mother Earth. Because this grounds you and opens you up to receiving from the earth. If you have any trouble with abundance, scarcity, limitation, connecting to Mother Earth helps open us up in trust and support. Just imagine that she's there and you're entering her space and she's welcoming you in a warm hug. She's a very loving, nurturing energy. However she looks to you, it's perfect. But she wants to wrap you in a blanket. She wants to feed you the warm comfort foods. She wants to put you in front of the fire and say, rest here and rejuvenate. Fill yourself up. I am here for you. So breathe that in. Breathe in her love. Breathe in this nurturance and let it move back up that channel into your body. And just feel how much stronger you could be if you felt that support all the time. If you knew you were supported by the earth and all she has to give us, all the resources. Bringing that up through your body, right up your spine, up into your heart. Breathe it in. Breathe it in to your bones. Breathe it into your blood. Let it flow through you. And know that this is your divine right to be supported. You are here. You are allowed to take up your space. You are here on purpose. There's no mistake, no fluke. The odds of you being here are incredibly high. It wasn't a fluke. So see yourself expanding in your energy. Allow that beautiful heart light to expand out until you are standing in a beautiful orb of light, fully supported by Mother Earth. And now allow that channel of light to reach up through the top of your head, going all the way up to the source. Whatever that looks like to you, I call it the heart of the universe. Place where all things begin, the pure love. Let it flow down that channel into your body. Let it flow into your heart. Open up to receive. We are here to listen to our heart warrior goddess, the one who is here, the aspect of ourself, the divine aspect of ourself that is here to reclaim why we came, reclaim our beauty, our strength, our empowerment in knowing that this is our walk on the earth. This is your walk. This is your opportunity to be here, walking this life. And we get to let go of all other interference and noise around us and just stand here in our heart. Listen to your heart. Access that beautiful heart warrior goddess that you are. It is an archetype that you have within you. And we're just going to wake her up today. She's been dormant. We're going to wake her up so that she can help us have the courage to move forward, to step into and onto the path that is the most aligned, highest path for you at this time. And we're gonna hold this beautiful energy and start to come back. Perhaps listening and thinking, what is it that she's telling you? What is she saying your soul is yearning for more of? Your soul is talking to you. What is it saying? What is it saying you need? Perhaps you need more soul time. Perhaps you need more abundance, more peace, more freedom, more release from other people around you and all of what's going on and all their energies. So breathe in deeply. Feel yourself starting to come back. Slowly moving your body. Wiggling your fingers and toes. When you're ready, begin to come back and open your eyes. So this is the beginning of stepping into this painting experience. We are going to be painting with that energy of listening to our heart warrior goddess, knowing that the information that you need will be coming throughout today as you paint and maybe even into tomorrow. I often find that the energy has to sink in for a while and that it's the next day when I get the aha moments and the epiphanies. I'm going to spotlight my camera here so that you can see my painting, and I'm going to keep talking to you. And please, if you have any questions, feel free to let me just there. Feel free to ask them or put them in the chat. First, I'll explain to you my drawing. I always start if I'm going to do a drawing, I will start it beforehand. Now, if you've been here before with me in Paint a Prayer, you know I don't always start with the drawing. Sometimes it's just painting on the background, being playful, and allowing that intuitive image to emerge. And I want you to feel free to do that if that's where you're comfortable. You do not have to follow me. You do not have to follow this image. When we do our shamanic paintings, many times we're each working on different images, whatever is calling to us at that time. And so I shared with you the image in the email that I am working from because, oh my gosh, she is just beautiful and powerful. And as soon as I saw her, I'm like, oh, she's my warrior goddess. She is there. So I'm using her as a reference. And I drew this out a bit first because I wanted her to turn out well. And sometimes I just paint from just go with the flow, but other times I draw out my images on paper and transfer them I use carbon paper a lot of times. This one I drew by hand and just very lightly worked on her. And I'm going over with a little bit of charcoal here so that you can see what I've created. And then I'm going to use a trick that I used to use with my students in the classroom because I was a classroom teacher and an art teacher, an LA social history teacher, and I would do pastel work with them, and it's so amazing. It's so messy, but they love the chalk pastels, and they're so much fun to create with as students because they get lots of really great results. But what I used to do, and I'm hoping it'll work here for me, is use hairspray to seal it a little bit. So I'm going to put some hairspray on here before I start painting. We'll see if it works, right? Let me just stand back to do this. Make sure that your candle is not near your hairspray if you do this, please. Don't want to have any torches going. There. I'm going to let that dry and see if it helps seal it a little bit. So I need to let this dry. So you go ahead and start sketching out whatever you want, or just start painting. The reason I chose Heart Warrior Goddess right now is because I feel like the world is at a point where we all need to be coming together and more courageous in our moves as we move forward, following our heart. One of the hardest parts in life is making that decision to follow the inspiration that is in your heart. And these often are called your diamond moments. You know, your diamond moments are the moments when you were at a point in your life where you just needed change. You just needed to follow your heart. You just needed to call in support. When I think about my diamond heart moments, like those are the moments that I was on my knees and I was so, I had tried everything. So when I think of in my past, what got me onto my path of my spirituality, I've always been a soul seeker. I have always loved painting and drawing. And those were on the side for me. They weren't part of my life. They were kind of hidden in the closet and a part-time fun thing to do when I had time. There was many years ago when I had a business of interior design. I was an interior designer and decorator. And it was a franchised business back in Ontario when I lived there. And I thought that's what I was going to do for the next 20 years of my life, at least. And I was so insistent that I was going to do this. And I bought the rights for the franchise and started the business. And I had 3 little kids, and I thought this is going to be great for them. I can be flexible in my hours. I had a nanny that beautiful Mennonite girl that would come into the house whenever I needed and be with the kids. So I could schedule appointments around that. And I loved it. So here I was decorating, having a great time. And on the outside, everything looked great. Business looked great. I was #1 sales across Canada for a couple months, and everything looked good. But on paper, I was losing money. I wasn't making money. And the time it was taking to be away and go on consultations, which were free consultations, there was a lot going on. And I was sinking, and it was getting really, really bad, financially, really bad. And I can remember being afraid to answer the phone because I thought it was a bill collector. Every time the phone would ring, I would get stressed out. And we were really struggling to hold on to our home. We were struggling to put food on the table. And I tried everything. I worked harder. I put out more marketing. At that time, there was no internet. So it was door to door marketing materials. I walked miles and miles and miles putting flashy door hanger cards on doors in the area that was my area for this decorating franchise. And the kids helped me, like the whole family was part of this, and we worked so hard. I did everything I could. And it was not from hard work that it didn't work because we had a lot of hard work. But I do remember getting more and more stressed, feeling more and more responsible. It was my fault. I'm the one that wanted this. I took us into this. We're going to lose everything. And I just one day was at home with my kids. They were playing in the living room. And I remember being in the bathroom and just kind of sliding down the wall onto the floor, crying and feeling like I cannot do this anymore. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get out of this hole. I am backed against a wall and feeling so much overwhelm. And I'm just crying, can't hold back the tears and sobbing. And my son, my middle child, who was probably about 3 or 4 at that time. He peeked around the corner and he came into the bathroom and he bent down, crouched in front of me, put his little hands on my cheeks and forced my lips up and said, "Smile, mommy, smile." And I just was like, oh my gosh, my heart cracked open. That was a incredible diamond moment for me because it was in that moment when I was already on my knees, already in a place of I can't do this anymore. I've tried everything and I don't know what to do. And he comes in as my little soul light saying, "You don't have to be here, mom." Like in his own way, he was saying, "Smile, mommy, smile, but you don't have to be here. Let go." And I heard in my head the message of like, let go, put it down, and we will help you. And it was at that moment when I decided that, yes, I needed to let this go. And it was the hardest decisions I could make, but I did decide to claim bankruptcy because we were so far in, I didn't know a way out. And it was then my life changed. Hard to take those steps to clean up the mess, but I was guided every step of the way after that. That is when my spirituality came online. That is when I opened up and I got invited into this shamanic circle. It was so divinely guided. That was when all the messages started pouring through. It was like I opened the floodgates and they were like finally she's listening, and she, all these messages started to come through. And I started to pick the pieces back up. And honestly, it took me a long time of recovery after that. Claiming bankruptcy was not something I did lightly. It's a very humbling experience, and I felt horrible doing it, but I also knew I had no other way out. I was truly backed against a corner. That was a diamond moment for me, that moment when things shifted. And I have several more, but I'm sure you do too. And I want you to think about those diamond moments. And I bet you can remember exactly where you were when you made that decision for change, when you decided something's got to give. I can't go on this way anymore. And I feel like our world is there. And as I keep talking, I am going to start my background now because I think this is all dry. I'm taking some of my favorite nickel azo yellow, and I'm going to do a light layer in behind her with this color. And I'll add some white there too. And so what in this moment right now, what is your heart yearning for? Because it's that heart warrior goddess part of ourselves that says, we are going to create a change. She, in that moment, when I was on my bathroom floor and that beautiful little angel boy of mine came in and said, smile, mommy, activated my heart warrior, activated her so that she stood up and said, oh, okay, this is it. Like, I need to take this step courageously. It was not easy. It was scary. It was humiliating. It was humbling. It was awful. But the heart warrior goddess in me said, this is what we need to do. And not every diamond moment is going to be scary and messy. Sometimes it's just the moment that you have a huge realization that you're just not gonna, you're gonna raise the bar. I had one of those moments this summer. That's it. I'm raising the bar. I'm not putting up with this anymore. I deserve more. That moment when I stood up and said, no, I'm doing this for me. And I want you to think about, where are you at in your life right now, where your heart goddess is ready to rise up, where your heart is saying, listen, listen, here's where you need to go. Here's your next step. And the human part of you is saying, but I don't know how. And that is friggin' scary. I don't want to go in that direction. Your heart goddess is like, yeah, but you know the right way to go here. You know where you should be headed. You know what your heart wants. There is an incredible, powerful vibrational field center within women. And this is, I certainly do not exclude men at all out of my programs, but I do speak to women because this is where I've been guided to go. We hold an incredible, powerful center within us, a creative center. And all genders have this center. All have divine feminine and divine masculine. We are needed to bring that divine feminine up into balance in the world. And so women are being reminded of the power they hold because it was stifled and repressed for so long, because the world was afraid of it. That's how powerful we are. And right now, our world needs us. Our world needs us to rise up, to remember and to reclaim that power within each and every one of us. And it begins within our own life. It begins with us being honest in our heart and allowing the heart's desires. What is it that we are desiring? What is it that you are desiring at the core of your being? Where in your life do you want changes to be made? And I'm not asking you to go out and start a movement. I'm asking you to be honest within your own life. Are you a giver? Are you giving too much to other people and draining yourself? Are you in a position, a job that is not fulfilling you, but you're there because flies here, because you know it keeps everybody else happy? That was one of my other diamond moments when I was a teacher in a classroom. It was something I worked hard to get to. It was on my dream board. I wanted to be a teacher in this classroom. I love teaching. I love the kids. But if anybody here has ever been a teacher, you know that that's just part of the position. And it can be very draining and exhausting. And if you're a multi-passionate person, a creative, you're giving up a lot of your passions to be able to teach in the classroom, to be prepared for the students, to give to the students, to give the extras that are required from you as a teacher. And I was coming home on weekends absolutely depleted and drained from work. And I had no time for my creativity, my painting. I had no time for me. I had my kids at this point were teenagers, and I did not think I had any choice but to keep going because of where we had been. And my husband, he really reflected that back to me. You know, it's like because I was feeling the resistance that I wasn't allowed to make this choice, he was kind of reflecting it back and saying, well, you know, come on, like we worked so hard to get here, to get to this financial security, to be able to do things, go on trips. Like, you can't give that up now. Everybody else is doing it. Like, why can't you handle it? Right? He didn't come out and say that, but that's what I was feeling. But he did say, you know, he did not want me to make any changes. And I can remember the morning I was sitting in my car. It was a spring morning in March, and I was waiting for the window to defrost. There was ice all over the window because it's cold here in the spring in Alberta. And I was just sitting there completely exhausted. And it was Monday morning. And I was thinking about how incredibly exhausted I was, that I could just physically just keel over, like the exhaustion right in my solar plexus. And at that moment, as I sat there watching the window defrost and the water dripping down my windshield, I, for some reason, thought about my mom. And my mom had passed away when she was 63 from cancer. And I remember thinking, at the age I was, what if I only had that many years left? Is this what I would be doing? If I only had like 12 years left of my life, is this what I would be doing? No, I wanted to live again. And I had a dream. I had a dream where I wanted to write a book. I had a dream where I wanted to sit down in the mornings, light a candle and write. And I wanted to paint again and get more creative again. And that was another diamond moment where I said, I had that epiphany. If I do not create a change right now, this is not going to end well. I am going to die of cancer. I am going to get sick and not be able to make it. I physically cannot do this. And so when you look at where you're at right now, and let's just say, what if you only had 10 years left? Are you doing what you are passionate about? Are you living your life for you? Okay, my next step, this is cool. I'm going to take burnt umber and white. So I have a tube of burnt umber. All I have is heavy body, but I'm going to use that. And I'm going to get some white. And I am going to do what's called like a tonal painting on her face. Maybe this is not the burnt umber I want. Unplug it. And so it's really about listening to your heart and what your heart is yearning for and allowing that to come forth. Allowing yourself to let your heart out. Let those dreams come out. We stuff them down. We hide them. We pack them in there because that's scary stuff. I might have to make some really big changes in my life if I'm going to let those dreams come out. And I want to reassure you that yes, you can make changes, but the way you think, like the how of how to get there, is often never the way you get there. All you need to do is to begin to open up to those heart's desires. Be honest and truthful with yourself that, yes, I do really want this in my life. I don't know how, but I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to give it a voice. I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to maybe journal on it and say, oh, my deepest desires are to travel the world. And you may be like, I have no idea how I could do that. I got a job. I'm responsible for people. I got maybe kids, family. There's just all this stuff, but you have no idea how this can gracefully come in if you just open your heart first and start to acknowledge it and listen to that beautiful heart warrior goddess that says, this is your life and you get to create it in the way that you most desire to create it. And we're going to send you, the universe is going to send you all sorts of opportunities in ways that you can do this. And then you get to decide, do I want to go in that direction or not? Sometimes it's scary, but sometimes it comes through in miraculous ways that you never would have expected. And so one of the first things in the soulfully aligned you, or the soulfully aligned creative mystic program that we have starting on Friday is just journeying more deeply into our own soul. Because sometimes that's like, I don't even know what I want, Janice. I don't know. I know that I don't feel like I'm fully living. I know that I feel like there's more for me, but I have no idea what I want. And so the journey that we take is called Your Soulfully Aligned Journey. And this is a 9-month program, and that part of our program goes for the entire 9 months. It's a deepening into your soul. It's a learning how to listen into your soul, learning how to deepen that connection. And no matter where we are at, there's always deeper levels, which is so much fun because every group that has gone through, I've gone deeper with them too. And it's a beautiful unfolding. So coming into the program, you don't have to make any changes. All you do is commit to yourself that, hey, I am going to go deeper into my soul. I am going to learn how to access that part of me, learn how to hear what my soul is speaking to me about. And I always say, become unshakable in your own center, in your soul center, so that no matter what is going on around you, you will stay centered and calm and unshakable. And there is a beautiful testimony from one of the girls who's just finished the program, and I have it recorded. I'm gonna post it, or maybe I'll send it out with the recording of this painting, where she says exactly that. And I could have started crying when she said that. And everybody has been giving me beautiful testimonials. But when she said, I feel unshakable in my center. Now that I finished this program, that's the biggest thing I'm taking, is feeling unshakable and solid and powerful. And it's just like, yes, 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 yes. That is why we're doing this. This is it. We need to lean into our own wisdom within us, our own higher self, instead of people around us causing us to second guess ourselves or worrying about, am I making the right choice? Is this the right thing? It's like you get so much more grounded and centered. So all I'm using is burnt umber and white here, and putting this a little bit darker burnt umber mix in where the shadows are, and going lighter, like where, and I can use that image because the light is shining on her, to help me create that light and dark shadows here. So the other part that happens as we go deeper into this journey, as I'm sure many of you have already discovered, is our creativity rises up. We certainly want to do more creative activities. We want to allow ourselves to do maybe it's knitting, maybe it's, pottery, maybe it's painting, maybe it's drawing. All of a sudden you get this urge to create. And that's because as your soul, as you open the channels, to more of the soul, more of the guidance, you are opening up to source, the pure source, life force energy, which is creative energy. And so this starts to flow in, and you start to discover how much more creative you are than you ever thought before. I know many of us love painting, and that's why you're here. And also, the other thing is your beautiful own psychic soul gifts come online. So I call them your psychic soul gifts. These are like suddenly your dreams become more enhanced at night, or you're more intuitive, or all of a sudden messages are starting to download into your mind without you even going, like, I don't know where it came from, but this is what I know. And that is a beautiful experience. So we do go deeper into, that's the creative mystic part. So the mystic part is the one, a mystic is someone who wants to deepen their connection with the divine. And as you do that, then your beautiful psychic gifts come online. So that's fun. And it's really nice to have the support around that, because sometimes we go like, okay, this is happening. Am I crazy? Like, I'm feeling this, or I'm sensing that, or this happened. And it's nice to have a group for guidance to be able to help you navigate through that. That part is very important too. I feel like I've just been talking to so much here. Does anybody have any questions so far? Just post them in the chat if you do. I'm going to keep playing with this burnt umber tonal painting part. So the creative mystic part is actually 6 weeks where we go deeper into how to bring these beautiful psychic gifts that you have online. We talk about all the different types of psychic gifts that you may experience and more. And we do deep meditations. Meditations are very much like activations also, that gets things going for you in many different ways. And yeah, I explain, like, it's kind of like you may already be a little bit familiar with all of that, but it really is, we start from square one. Like, what is channeling? How do I channel? How do I read cards? What are all of the different, clairvoyance, clairaudience? What are all of those? So we go through all of that, the basics of that. That is something that I learned how to do from my shamanic teacher also, way back in the 90s. How to channel, for yourself, how to channel for other people. And whether or not you even want to is totally up to you. You get to choose that. But these are things that do start to happen. So we need to talk about them. You need to have a space where we talk about them. And we go deep into energies. So the foundation of everything is energy. It's the quantum realm. And so how do we manifest from the quantum realm? How do we, oops, I got somebody in the waiting room. How do we work with the energy and remove the blocks that are keeping us from rising up into our highest potential, that maybe are keeping us from even receiving abundance so that we can continue to move forward. With that being said, we do have a whole section in there on becoming a soulfully magnetic entrepreneur. So there's a whole section on not just the energetic foundation of building your business, which is a big part of it, but also some of the left brain stuff too of, well, what are the realistic logistics of my business? And you get to talk with other women who are also building their business in different ways. So it's so wonderful, the connections we make together in the group, and how you are supported by these other women too. A beautiful, powerful circle. So we cover the soulfully magnetic entrepreneur. My soulfully aligned business is the first one, then the soulfully magnetic entrepreneur. And we do go into 12 weeks of money mindset and working through all of that, because as women in business, if you decide you want to take this out to the world, we've got to clear up a lot of money mindset issues that we may be holding on to. So we work through that too. It's so much, and it's very fun and inspirational when we work through that stuff. What else can I say? The biggest thing that has come through all of this is the connections, the sisterhood that has grown. And I am so thrilled with that. Okay, I need to focus here for a minute. So I can't talk and paint at the same time very well. Not very good at that. So if anybody has anything to question, or some of you mystics, if you want to add anything, please feel free to unmute and join us here.
I would say you'll be totally amazed at the shift that happens in your own self. And as you watch other people shift, it'll be really inspiring.
Yeah.
Also agree with Carrie on that big shift happening. I put into the chat that the community having each other's back and bouncing each other's ideas off of is also a great asset. So it's just, you meet people from all over the world, and then you continue to have a relationship with them even afterwards. So I think that was a big asset.
Yeah. That's the part I love too. So just, oh my gosh, I've created such like close friends all over North America. And we have a fellow from Osho is from India, and he's such a beautiful soul. Like, think of the connections that we make. And you know what? Not everybody is like, yeah, I want to go and create a business. Oh, that's what I'm going to say too. So when you finish, the one thing you get to do, if you choose, is take the creative mystic part, and you can either take it, download it the way it is and teach it, or you can, take it and take aspects of it to teach. So you have that to get you going right away if you want to start to create a little bit of an income or a business started. But I found that most of these women, they just kind of get through and go, no, I kind of know what I'm doing here. I know how I want to bring this out to the world. For some, it's like, yep, circles or businesses online. And for others, it's like, no, I don't want to be online. I'm going to do it a different way. and they get started, and we're still able to support each other. So then if you have a business, that the big thing about business is your connections and who you know. And we support each other in that. Okay, so once I have this kind of tonal drawing, I just want to smooth it out a bit more. And I want to work on her eye a little bit and get her eye in there. Now, you can create whatever color of eye that you want. I was having fun with another one that I was working on. I'll show you it. I haven't finished it yet, but as you will see. But so this is another one I was working on here. I think I started this in one of our painting sessions, and then over the weekend I just got into it again. So, but I love her eyes. She's just got these beautiful bluey turquoisey eyes. You can't really see it in the camera, but there's a bit of turquoise in her eyes, and I quite love that. You could make green eyes, brown eyes, blue eyes, whatever is called to you for your warrior goddess. And really think about what are the aspects of her that you would love to bring online for you. Like, bring out that courage to stand up for yourself, that courage to be unshakable, the one who is standing in that channel of light, grounded into the earth. When there's a tornado blowing all around you of circumstances, you're the one standing there. And this, I didn't go into that too much, but this is where women have the power to create from. When we tap into that soul, when we get into that deep alignment and we create from there with reverence, when we walk softly on the earth with reverence, and we are saying, we need to shift on how we do things in this world. Things are not working the way they are. And so, what's another way? And we might not have the answers, but when we start to create the shifts in our own lives, when we start to say, well, I know where I need to bring more love into my life, and I know where I need to honor myself more in my life, then that ripples out into the world. So we're not looking to change the world overnight. We are looking at the changes that we make individually within our own world when we start following that beautiful soul guidance and lean into it more and more. That ripples out into the world. And this is not done in a selfish way. Instead, this is an honoring, a deep, respectful honoring for your soul, for the journey that you are taking here on this earth, and that you came here purposefully to bring your own unique gifts in, and that you're going to honor that instead of hiding them, instead of being in service to everyone else. You're going to bring those beautiful gifts online and serve the world from there. That's the difference. And so it's where some people are like, well, isn't it selfish to be doing that for you? No, my gosh, it's the opposite of selfish. It's serving. You are serving the world in this way. Okay, let me just. And so the soulfully aligned creative mystic is really about taking that journey into deeper into your own life. By the end of it, you not only have a beautiful circle of connected women sisterhood that is there supporting each other. That is absolutely priceless to have that. But you also feel so much more grounded in who you are and the gifts that you came to bring and how you can bring this out into the world that brings you joy and abundance, expression, freedom. It is makes you get up in the morning and feel like, yeah, this is what I came here to do. This is who I am. You know, this is so in alignment. I am loving my life. We need as many soulfully aligned women and men leading in this world as possible. That's what we need. And when you get there, you become part of a force, right? You become part of a connected net, golden net of women. We are stronger together. You feel more centered. You feel stronger. Yeah, I can't say enough about it. I love this program. So it is a 9-month program, logistics. It's a 9-month program. We meet pretty much every week, and it is filled with creative prompts, things you can do to go deeper, journal prompts, activities, soul activities to go deeper. We go into, creating altars. We go into, how do you create sacred space in your home? How do you take it with you when you go on the road, travel? How do you clear your home of energies that maybe need to be cleared out? And how to work with the rhythms of the universe. This is the mystic part of us. How do you work with the rhythms and get more in sync in that beautiful divine feminine way rather than the way we've been doing it with clocks and timers and schedules? And you can run a business that way too. Now, your heart warrior goddess may even just be a symbol. It doesn't have to be a face. It can be a symbol of strength, of conviction into your own life, of saying, I'm recognizing that this is my life and I'm going to start to create more space for me. Oftentimes, as we get older, it's like suddenly, the family's independent and we kind of stop and go, okay, well, who am I again? I don't even remember who I am. I can't even remember what I was dreaming about in my life and what I want. And this is a beautiful journey you could take to come back into your heart, come back into your soul and start to discover yourself again. Oops. So for her lips, I'm just using that burnt umber white and adding a little bit of cad red into it. I put a little too much in that one. And then just again, creating like 3 tones, a light, a dark, and a medium. Okay. So I'm going to start adding in some phthalo blue, some phthalo green into the background to deepen and darken. I want to get like shadows and different colors in and around her head so that I can add feathers and bright spots after that's in there. So I'm still gonna work on her face some more. So I'm gonna let it dry a little bit, but this is the first layer. It's a burnt umber tonal, kind of light tonal painting. I'm gonna then take some like alizarin crimson or quinacridone red and do a glaze over top of that. And then when that dries, I'm gonna do a little bit of a yellow oxide glaze over top. And this kind of makes her skin look translucent and, and have different colors shining through. So yeah, and a lot of times people these like your skin you can make a blue bean or purple bean or whatever you want. I've done many that are like purple first. I really like working with purple and then put glazes on top. Totally up to you. But yeah, feel into that. Her skin doesn't have to be the skin colors that we see on the earth. She maybe is a blue bean, a blue light bean. Create her radiance, however it works for you. So let me find my blows. Um, there it is. So I love working with light, thin, like glazes, like out of jars. This is golden phthalo blue green shade. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use some dioxazine purple. I was thinking of creating more like a starlight background for her. And it looks like I'm all out of phthalo green, so find another green. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna start with my blue and purples in the background. One thing I don't want to lose is this kind of glowing light by her head that's in the picture. I really like that part. Going to sometimes in the creative mystic, we paint like this in silence together, just like this. Sometimes people have their own music on and we're just enjoying painting together. And other times we're chatting away about energy and things that are going on in our lives and the feel of the energy and shifting it and um, things that are going on in the world and how we're feeling about those energies. And it's a beautiful, quiet space. It really is. There's never a feeling of, uh, we should be talking, I should be saying something. It's always a very relaxed companionship. Questions can easily come up. Painting questions could be anything. How are you guys doing? Kind of getting there. I just putting a whole bunch of colors in where I don't know, all these feathers are gonna be. I just want to get a background of multitude of colors and then can paint on top of that, of course. Always nice just to get rid of some of the white canvas too, right? Just it can be a little daunting.
I would really love to see what everybody's doing.
Oh, for sure. Let me just undo my spotlight and let's see what you guys are working on. Be brave. We lost quite a few people. Oh, oh, Carrie, I love that movement. Oh, voice.
She turned into
Joanna.
kind of
Yeah.
a fire goddess.
Say it again.
She turned into fire. Fire. She is about fire.
Mm, nice. It's so cool that, what comes up for you is so,
I went a little bit of a different route. I started out with a woman in a headdress, and this is what I ended up with.
oh my
So
goodness,
it's like,
Kelly,
oh, Kate, let's
that,
just keep going because it's like I'm really, really enjoying it. So
yeah, that's gorgeous.
so it was supposed to be the headdress and all the jewel tone colors, and I just kind of lost the headdress somewhere.
It's so good. Oh, I can't wait to see what you do. It's beautiful all on its own.
They did start out as feathers. So this is
It looks
all.
like faces in there.
Right?
I'm sure there are. Usually when I paint a sky or a background, there's about a dozen faces. My
Good.
awareness.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me of one of the other girls when I did the Creative Mystic program by itself, she was in it and she started drawing faces and she's like they just started emerging in her drawings and paintings and stuff. And so she enhanced them and there were all sorts of beautiful spirits that were coming out for her. So you never know. You never know. And no one ever has to feel like they have to share, but we love seeing what you're doing.
When are you closing registration for the crystal retreat?
I guess when it's full.
Oh, we haven't booked our winter vacation yet, so I have no idea of my availability. When you posted it, I went, oh, yum, that sounds fun.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and I was this close to signing up to the Red Deer one.
Oh,
And my cousin phoned, hey, have you booked that retreat weekend thing yet? And I said, no. He said, okay, well, Dad, don't do it because Dad wants to go away. So him and I are taking our two fathers to see their brother.
oh, nice.
The brother that we're going to visit is 91.
Mhm.
His dad is 89 and my dad is 87. So this is going to be one of those. I'm pretty sure that unstoppable woman's thing will be again. So this one might not ever happen again. So
Right? That's
I jumped at it. And
special moments for sure.
yeah,
Where are you
so
going?
we're going to Ottawa.
Oh,
Yeah, our oldest uncle, surviving uncle, is there, and his two
okay.
daughters are going to meet us, and we'll have a little mini reunion with the three guys. They're the last 3 out of 8 that are surviving. So,
Ah,
and there happen to be the 3 youngest. So
that's special. That's
we
really nice.
kind of giggle about it, and so we're excited for it. So
Yeah, that's nice. I'm glad you're getting to do that. You're right. Those things, you never know next year what's going to happen. And yes, the Unstoppable Women's Conference is a yearly thing. So that will happen again. And for anyone that's watching the recording and interested, the the Mystic program begins this Friday. So last chances to get into that. And I do believe, and I absolutely am not saying this to pressure anyone, but the prices will probably be going up next time we run it. So just so you know. Oops. And there is some really great payment plans in there too. So you just have to click the link and go in and take a peek at some of those. What else have we got going on? So the Unstoppable Women's Conference is in Red Deer, Alberta, and that is October 19th and 20th. And I am a speaker, one of the keynote speakers there. So that'll be an exciting event. Then we have our retreat in Tucson, Arizona in February, Crystal Magic with Carrie and and that is February 2nd to the 7th. And I believe, pretty much it's like 10 people. So as that fills up, which it will, those spaces will be gone. But I also have another retreat for sure in Mount Shasta, and that is July, I believe, 7th to the 12th. And I have not launched that yet because we're promoting the Tucson one right now, but that one is, if you are interested in coming to that one, it is also going to be incredibly magical. You can just reach out to me and we can get you set up in there before it goes out public. Perk for you. So this, and then the Creative Mystic starts on Friday. So I'm excited about that new group that has been growing. So we are growing, and we have already 2 groups that have gone through this program. So there's 12 beautiful women who are Soulfully Aligned Creative Mystics certified, and they're taking this beautiful energy out into the world. Let me see, anything else that I've missed? There's been so much going on, so much movement forward. It's been a lot of fun.
Janice, will you post that
The
out?
link for the retreat?
Well, I'm thinking about Shasta particularly.
Oh,
Once you get pricing and numbers, and will you post it to this group first, or you know what I'm saying?
yes. It always goes into the Soulfully Aligned Women first, and out on my email to my email list. But yeah, I don't have the page completely finished, but I will post that for you. It's I think we have room for 12 people there. We have we have a beautiful house that is set up. It is just set up for retreats. It is absolutely beautiful. And it's very feminine. It's more for women's retreats. And in Mount Shasta, right at the base of the mountain, we have a full view of the mountain right in front of us off the deck, which we do a lot of stargazing at. And we also have 2 very unique domes on the property. So there's room for 4 people, because there's 2 people per dome that can go in and have an experience being in the dome, but still being part of the house too. So that's exciting. And I'm on the final tweaking of the price. So I'm almost there. And I will have a payment plan also for people that are interested. But so we have 4 bedrooms in the house. Each bedroom has its own bathroom and can accommodate 2 people in each bedroom. Two of the bedrooms have two single beds, and the other two have, I think the one is a king bed and a sofa bed, and the other one is a queen bed and a sofa bed. And if you want one of those bedrooms for yourself, the price will be higher, of course, for a private room. So, but yeah. Anyways, I'm going to finish this up here. Of course, I'm not done my painting. I never finish my painting. But here is, well, I shouldn't say I never, because I did finish the other paint up prayers because I worked on small canvases and we did the teepee and the canoe. No, I can't remember what we did before, but this one I will keep working on. I am quite loving her and I think she's going to look very different when it's all done, but just getting that background in gets us going. And then you can define the feathers. You can define, any markings, any jewelry, anything that you want to add on and allow that just to flow through you. The more you get in there and start playing, the more creative flow comes through and more ideas. So I'm going to leave this with you guys. Thank you for being here. Please reach out if you have any questions. If you're watching the recording, thank you for being here. And if you want a private call with me to discuss any of the options we have going on, then just reach out and we will get you in there. So get you a free call so that we can make sure that you're getting exactly what best suits you. So thank you, you guys. I love you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very
Bye.
much, Janice. Really enjoyed
You're
it.
so
Yeah.
welcome. Enjoy your
Bye.
evening. Bye.